Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Binding of Isaac Repentance, where today we're gonna do a simple run because I got stuff to do, and as such we will simply try to defeat Mother with Azazel. A simple task, hopefully, depending on what kind of build we get, Azazel still being a strong one. And as such, after this we'll be mostly done with them as well, because I have used this excuse once or twice before. And as such, we're running out of Azazel things to do. Fortunately, there's still Tainted Azazel to do things with as well afterwards, but for now, it will be a simple jog through the known path that we have taken a few times before. We have 3 keys already, so I could open those 2 golden chests that's waiting for us as well. And there is still an item room somewhere. There's 4 keys now? Oh, 5. Okay, that's just a lot of keys here. All gold chest items are usually pretty good, so might as well take it. Kind of an unfortunate hit there, I suppose, but at the end of the day, Azazel gets away with so much nonsense that hopefully it's going to be okay. We will survive. Ah, jeez. Okay, then, we are in a little bit of a predicament. Libra giving us a large quantity of consumables at least, so we do have that going for us, but unfortunately it also ruins my damage a bit. It's not the worst in the world, it does increase that recharge rate by quite a bit, but I'm not feeling like particularly great about the situation. Hopefully things are going to be okay though. We're going to see what we can get. I'm a little tempted to destroy those rocks in that one room, since we got so many bombs anyway. Figured I might as well, and let's just go all out on our explosions. Ultimately, I guess a tears down isn't as bad anymore with the amount of tears up that we have gotten, but it does affect all of our other stats as well. And with that, you know what, let's just keep going. I don't think I could really want to buy anything that's in my shop right now, but that's mostly just because I can't see what it is. I would like to get one more bomb somewhere along the line, but I'm assuming that somewhere before the mine's door we are going to find a bomb. It's a risky strat for sure, and look at all those stats going up. Our damage going back up by 0.11 points, very good. Accidentally skipped the dream sequence, but hopefully the world can forgive me of this discretion. So I guess I could go for devil deals this time around. I got nothing really stopping me. I'm actually just going to go for all the golden chests in the world as well, because I'm feeling that that might end up being worthwhile. Gonna skip on the safety cap this time around though, except if I accidentally walk into it, but hopefully that won't happen much more. But I would like to drop it during this fight. It's just a little bit tricky to do while moving around, but not impossible, fortunately. Struggling a bit here to actually hit things, but hopefully we'll be okay. Hopefully we have the range to even hit this one. There we go. That was a close one. I wonder if you could get to a range point where you just genuinely cannot hit those flies anymore, because my range is pretty bad, but with a little bit of extra range down, I feel like we can get that to horrendous levels, and therefore we wouldn't be able to do anything with that fly, but I don't know. I've never had the problem before in any way. There is a tinted rock there, but I kind of want to make sure that I have a bomb available for that mine's door one day. Even though I clearly wasted a whole bunch of bombs on mushrooms earlier and didn't have a real care in the world. Ah, there we go. A room like this is perfect for then hoping that there's a super secret room over there. Oh, there actually was. I was already walking away. But that's okay. Wouldn't mind some more health, actually, before we start entering devil deals, I suppose. But at least we no longer have Curse of the Blind, so it is a little bit more tempting to just walk in there and hope for the best. I'm gonna blow this up. I think I'm gonna blow up this wall as well, because it's got good vibes. Speed down, great. One makes you larger, and another speed down, perhaps. If we get the bad PhD, I'm actually a little tempted to see how that combines with Libra and the amount of stat downs we've gotten from all the pills that we've taken so far. I'm curious if it sort of balances each other out or not. But it does depend on what we get in our boss room devil deal, of course. So let's first just quickly skedaddle over to the good times to the item room shop and all that good stuff. Open shops for free. I guess I might as well. Don't mind that at all. No more key required. The converter is here. That could be good. I mean, if we're going for devil deals, it's a pretty decent way to get red heart containers that might decrease the price of certain items, so that could be nice. Angry Fly, part of the Lord of the Flies transformation. Always a good time. I'm also a little disappointed that I didn't go for Bob's Brain, but I am playing a somewhat low-range character and it frightens me, so I'd rather not bother with that right now. Rainmaker, also slightly irritating with a low range, but not too impossible if I just don't stand next to him at any point. Because he does have that attack where there's a whole bunch of tears just appearing next to him, but he could also just do this attack over and over and just die instead, so, you know, options aplenty. We do get a health up, so that's good. Terrible devil deal. Yeah, cursed eye. Doesn't really affect me, I don't think. I'm actually a little curious, but not curious enough to try. So we're just taking the amnesia pill, the bad gas, and another speed down. It might be just still the same speed down that I've had for a while, I suppose, but it's an interesting pill pool so far. I mean, bad gas is alright, I suppose. So we do have that going for us. I'm also a little curious what would happen if I use the converter with half a heart. It uses up the first heart of the... Alright, that's a little unfortunate then, I suppose, but maybe somewhere along the line we'll find Schoolbag and Dead Cat and just win by default instead. Did not realize that guy had a little hat that ended up trying to kill me, so that's somewhat unfortunate. Do I need to get a little bit more money, I suppose, if I wanted to buy a school bag, since I think that's only in the shop item pool. But I'm sure we can make something happen here. Should probably stop taking damage so much, though. D1 isn't terrible. D1 is not terrible. I think I'll actually go with that. Because that can have some interesting events happen. We could maybe duplicate a soul heart every now and then. We could blow up a bomb beggar and get some more pills. Every single one is just a little unfortunate. I would love better ones. I mean, this pill could be good. We don't know until we try, I suppose, but maybe not just yet. Tempted to blow up the... God, this is fun. I have 9 keys. You know what? Let's not. Actually, I could just get it as a loss later, thinking about it. But, yeah, so far, interesting times. I would kind of like to have a soul heart drop on the floor because I am taking damage from everything. At this stage, I have recorded... this is the 5th Isaac run that I'm trying to record today, and I'm starting to notice the effects of trying to do so much at a time. It's also one of the reasons why I'm not much of a streamer, I suppose, because I just don't have the stamina for that. I'm not what I used to be. I would like to not lose my devil deal chances, though. Unfortunately, we didn't get one. Another health up lunch. Fair enough. Let's grab this key. Since with that holy mantle there is no real danger upon doing so. Let's not walk into the spiky rock, though. Instant fear, but no need. Hopefully we can get another bomb. I actually wouldn't mind using the D1 on a bomb, if I'm being honest. Just so, well, normally when I say I'm not getting bombs, I'd say it because I've been, just not really been getting them. This time around, I have just been using them everywhere. So, probably you could call this one being on me, I suppose. This is a little concerning. I lost my holy mantle pretty early on in that fight. Okay. Suddenly actually having to like move properly, I'm not used to that anymore. I'm not about that life at all. I am now about just running into things and hoping for the best because I am doing an Azazel run, and that is what Azazel does best. Jeez, though, these tears are sniping me today. I would like it if they'd calm down just a little bit, and I'm a little concerned about trying to do Wormwood with the amount of things that I've walked into at this stage, but only one way to find out if it's truly a terrible idea, I suppose. Ooh, boy. Coming out of the tiniest hole in the world to scare me. My speed is also just not very helpful for this right now. Taking a blind Libra was perhaps not my finest choice this hour, but hopefully we can get away with it. God. There we go. Ooh, Lord. Very close. Ooh, 4 pills. Very good. Something's wrong. 48-hour energy. That's actually not too terrible. If I had a way to get rid of this red heart, I could do some shenanigans, I think. No, I don't think that would have really worked. Amnesia. Something's wrong. God, when something's wrong is the best pill of the list. That's a worrying situation. Either way, just gonna go over here and then grab that battery and do that one more time. And I'm hoping there's a bomb inside there, or maybe something cool. It's not too terrible. We got a bomb, we got a black heart, and we get wiggle worm, which, I mean, that's worth it on its own. It might actually be... Yeah, it's actually a stat up. Might actually be worthwhile as this character since you don't really get any negative effects from it, so I guess I might as well. And with that we have the ability to actually enter the mines as well. I guess I could have just bought this bomb at some point in my life. I'm a little curious at this point. I figured with all the bad pills we've seen so far, there must be at least one good one, and indeed, there was one good one so far. So things are looking up. We can go in here with a little key piece. I don't recall if I skipped any tinted rocks. I definitely skipped a secret room. I probably could have gone in there with that last remaining bomb that I had to maybe get something good, but oh well. At the end of the day, I'm not too bothered. I'm going to leave you there for now until I find something better to use my D1 on. And so far, I'm a little concerned that we won't, because quite frankly, in terms of consumables, we're having an interesting time. I mean, quite frankly, we got Libra and I've just been using up everything, but if you ignore that part specifically, then it looks a lot more dire if you ask me. I'm actually gonna charge up my D1 for the curse room, I think. This is also a little worrying. Every situation that I've gotten myself in so far has been describable as a little worrying. Also, somehow that guy in the top left died, which is not to my own accord, but I'll take it, I suppose. Because that does end up being a little useful to me. If I can get some way to teleport out of that one room, that'd be lovely as well. Okay, let's deal with this first. I guess I could use the D1 to also just duplicate a chest. But then the heart's there and I have no real method to get rid of that right now, unfortunately, so let's just do this. Look at that. Finally we're getting some bombs. Again. Yeah, I definitely did say I was going to use that for the curse room, but you know, I'm changing my mind just about every second right now. And it's working. It's getting me somewhere. Tech point 5 is always my choice, because it's never bad. It's always a nice little addition to any build, although I do have to let go of the attack button when I'm actually using my big beam, I suppose. Still not the worst thing in the world. Would be nice if that troll bomb could have exploded near the wall, because it looks very promising, but simultaneously, I think the secret room might actually be adjacent to this room instead. Let's see if that's true. No, really. That's exciting. Ladder, very nice. Amnesia, again, I don't know how many more times I'm going to look at that pill to figure out it's amnesia, but certainly a couple more times, I would say. And that still leaves, yeah... There's some awkward options, I suppose, for where the secret room could be, but I don't love that. I'm gonna duplicate this in case it's Gulp. Nope. Gulp I would have appreciated, and I think with D1 and Gulp you can definitely get enough Gulp pills as well to unlock marbles, so that might end up being something I'm just gonna try for a minute here. Because if we do have Gulp, I would like to go for, just actively try to go for that at any chance that I get, really. But you do need to actually have Gulp in your pill pool, and unfortunately that's never quite guaranteed. This is also like a lot easier to use than Placebo for sure, or even if we get a Balls of Steel pill, then this is just really, really strong. So I wouldn't mind trying to find that one good pill in there and to just duplicate that over and over. Alright. Paralysis. Alright, so far so good. We do at least have a range up pill and a 48-hour energy. And 48-hour energy could maybe be used to some interesting potential, but I'm not exactly sure what I have in mind when I'm saying that. It's because I can only duplicate one item. If I find like car battery, maybe that would work. Like specifically if I had like car battery and D1, I guess you could just make infinite items. If it truly uses it twice every single time, that'd be lovely, but that's not quite the situation we find ourselves in just yet. Would be nice for sure, but unlikely, I'm gonna say. Though there's still plenty of shops to go. It's definitely not a 0% chance of getting a car battery throughout this run, so that is lovely. Right, was there a battery in my shop? I'm fairly sure there was. I could also use the challenge room to recharge my D1. In case there is something to duplicate in either the devil or angel room, for instance. Unlikely, but occasionally you do have like soul hearts and stuff in there, and having an extra one of those is definitely not terrible. So I would like to try, but I'm a little bit concerned that I'm going to lose my devil deal chance by doing this. Because there are some nasty enemies in these challenge rooms after all. They are just shooting at me continuously. And they require some specific movement to not get hurt. And then you have stuff like this, which is not helpful because they shoot a lot of tears all over the place. Fortunately, one of them's already dead. I can hopefully get the other one with my lasers. Plus, I believe every time he goes into a wall, he does end up losing a little bit of health as well, so that was quite nice. The poop is still alive, apparently. This is a bit awkward. It's a bit explosive, but one of them's already dead, so that's good. And the second one is getting real close, but trying real hard. Something's wrong. Yeah, not an exciting pill pool so far. I'm kind of tempted to try and look for my super secret room, I suppose, but how tempted am I truly? Because it's... unless it's here, it's going to be in an awkward position. Because it could technically be over here, probably. It could be on this wall as well. It could be over here, and then... yeah, I'm going to try this one, actually. No. Then it could also probably be in this room, and then there's also a decent chance that it's over here, for instance, or in the bottom of this room. So it's just a little bit too many opportunities where it could be, and unfortunately the ones we tried were not quite good enough. I'm going to use that something's wrong pill for good measure. Actually slowing down someone for once using the pill rather than using it once, realizing what it is, and leaving it alone for the rest of the run, like every other instance of the use of the something's wrong pill. My movement speed still isn't quite where I want it to be, I will say. But we're making it through. Getting a little bit more familiar with this boss the more we do it, I suppose, so that's at least good. Oh god, there we go. That's how you lose a devil deal. And take another hit that I didn't actually even see where it came from. I wonder if those rock attacks were always completely diagonal, or if that was just particularly good luck this time around. Either way. That is squeezy. That at least gives me some more defense to work with on the next floor. It also guarantees that on the next floor we are going to get a devil deal or angel room, provided that we don't lose it again. So in a way that's kind of good. I have 0 red hearts, so there is actually a reason to go into my curse room. I said 0 red hearts, I'm fairly sure. I meant 0 soul hearts or black hearts. But you get the idea. Just assume everything I'm saying is almost in the right direction, and then you can spend the rest of the time as like a puzzle to try and figure out what did that guy actually mean to say. And that's how I make these runs a little bit more interesting, a little bit more engaging to the viewer by having it be a mind puzzle. Either way, that's 4 soul hearts right there, so I'm not too bothered about that. Mr. Squeezy gives us a little bit more of everything, so that's quite nice. And yeah, terrible pill pool all around, so looking pretty good. What was in my shop again? The ladder. Alright, never mind. Briefly had the hope that with these 19 coins I could maybe get something useful, but the ladder might not be the best thing in the world right now. Look at that. D1 at the rescue. It's rare to get D1 or really use it in any effective way, I suppose, but maybe I've just never tried before. I also feel like it works a little bit differently from other duplicating things, because I have frequently seen like duplication items that also kind of duplicate the contents of the chest rather than just the type of chest itself, so it, yeah, it comes and goes in different ways, I suppose. I will leave that soul heart there so the D1 has some work to do. Little curious what's in this curse room as well. If there's red chests in there, then I will probably just pick up the soul heart instead, because I wouldn't mind to increase the chance of just getting a teleporter to the devil deal or something like that. Would be nice. Then maybe we can in some way lose a vast amount of things. That would be good in a way. Just a bunch of hearts, unfortunately. Fool card, magician. Not impossible that we can duplicate a thing somewhere. Like a chest somewhere that could be useful to duplicate, like a golden chest or a red chest, but it has lowered the odds a little bit by it not being in there, unfortunately. Why'd I try that particular room? I don't know, it just felt good. But I was hoping there would be a secret room in there. It would certainly make life a lot easier. The annoying thing also about trying to duplicate like specific things, and like if you get a room like this, there's just not much you can do if you get the wrong thing, unfortunately. Just because there's so many red hearts that I just can't do anything with right now. If I get like a dark bum or something, then I could definitely do something with them pretty much all the time, but as it stands, it's just not looking in the cards. What do we got? Greed. Yeah. Fighting Mother is going to be interesting if our build doesn't improve either, by the way, because this is an interesting situation in terms of hearts and damage and money and speed and every other stat in the game, really. So I'm hoping that we can at least get something. What do we got over there? Amnesia, right? You could call it a running gag that I forget what the amnesia pill looks like, but you could also just call it me genuinely forgetting the instant it disappears out of my vision. Because there's no real reason to ever remember them. This is alright. It's at least a stat up in every which way. It gives me some more movement speed, and I'm actually very happy about that. Just because it gives a stat up to just about everything, it is also a movement speed up, and that's just nice. Let's just go in here. I'll blow you up. Also just... Okay. I was gonna say I'll donate some hearts to this, but I guess that also works. Yeah. Let's go fight a boss here. Creep, creep. Hopefully not have too much trouble. Maybe should have picked up a few more hearts before starting this, but usually the Reap Creep isn't the worst thing in the world. I say confidently. Hopefully somewhere near the end of this fight I will actually mean it, but for now, we'll see what happens. Usually it's this part where I get a bit panicky and run into spiders and take a whole bunch of damage. But hopefully we can avoid that this time around. There we go. That's all soul hearts. I don't hate that, actually. Let's just put those in there. Should I take this in case the devil deals are all red hearts? I actually don't know what a good idea is. I'm just gonna go in. Ooh, my shadow! Very good. God, it is just garbage all the way. Fair enough, though. We'll see if we can get some over here. Synth oil, not bad. I actually really don't hate that. That is a pretty decent amount of extra stats. It brings us a little bit closer to the spun transformation. Hopefully those are all the things we require to win here, but I'm, needless to say, a little bit concerned about my current living situation. At least I have a decent amount of health available, so that's good. I have a 48-hour energy if need be. I have a vague idea where my secret room is. Apparently I don't. I have tried... No, I thought I just sort of thought it wouldn't be here. And it's not. God, is it underneath the item room? I think that's the last possible place where it can even be. Yeah, there you go. That was a good way to spend large quantities of bombs. But fortunately I have bombs aplenty, so clearly I have nothing to worry about. No worries there. Might as well take those 3 hearts because, quite frankly, we're gonna get 4 hearts when we leave the floor. And I'm just gonna have to hope that that's going to be enough. I'll duplicate that. Should I have done that? Maybe I shouldn't have duplicated that, because thinking about it, I should probably just duplicate the 48-hour energy whenever I can. Just so I have some stuff available. Hanged Man. Interesting. I probably... Oh god, I wonder if that got rid of my pill. Doing that. Pressing buttons don't actually do anything here. This is a character that innately has flight, so you can actually just fly everywhere all the time, unlike almost every other character in the game. So this area does become a little bit easier because of it. It would be nice if there were the blue flames over here in that room, because then you can quickly pick up a soul heart. But it does kind of trivialize this area a little bit, because of this. You don't really have to do much of anything anymore, which... It does simplify things a bit. I mean, I have to dodge the poops with the flies surrounding it, I suppose, but that's really about it. Okay, so I do keep the 48-hour energy. I don't know what would have happened if I had left that room while still holding the Hangman card, if it would have just replaced it with Hangman or not. Also, apparently there's a coin in my shop that I haven't picked up yet. Oh, I was in the corner. But hopefully, with all this nonsense, we can at least get some good stuff on the next floor. We have a build. We have a decent amount of health available at least, so that's kind of nice. And I have a plan to just duplicate every 48-hour energy I can find, and then if there is something better to duplicate, then we'll just get around to that, I suppose. I'm curious about my curse room once again. Even though I did just say I would duplicate every 48-hour energy. I might duplicate them over there if that works out. I don't know how many batteries you actually get from 48-hour energy, or if it's always at least one. Because that would be nice. I am clearly not seeing something. Was there... I don't know. I think I was confusing my own fly with a fly that was actually an enemy, and I just genuinely didn't understand what was happening there. That's dead cat. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I'll take that. I don't feel like I have a great amount of options right now, and Guppy would work. Some of these rooms definitely are a lot easier when you have the ability to win instantly. It does help in some ways. Let's just do that. 1 to 2 batteries, yeah. So I guess duplicating those is just really, really good then, right? Because you can just keep using it. Because you also recharge your item when you use it, and that's kind of nice. I am struggling to destroy these. Never take Libra with this character. It is not worth the effort. I mean, don't take Libra with anyone anymore, really. It has definitely lost its charm a bit since the Libra soy milk days, but... It is just a rough time right now, and I do not care for it. Golden key and a bunch of coins. That's not immediately terrible. Keys were not really something I was lacking in, I suppose, but I don't immediately hate it. Hopefully we can get a devil deal on this floor. That would be lovely. And actually a good one, rather than just my shadow or some garbage like that. But that's... We'll see. We'll see what we can get. Haven't seen a possible location for a secret room yet, except for maybe below this side. But genuinely not 100% certain how secret room generation would work in rooms like that are split up with teleporters and the like. I don't know if that makes it impossible because there's holes all over the place and that might confuse the land somewhat. I don't know. Either way. I'm gonna just quickly mosey back to this room. I could just duplicate this thing in other rooms as well, I suppose. I just gotta try this. Like, if I do this, I guess there's a chance that it duplicates just a battery instead. But that still wouldn't be terrible. Because I could just do this forever, effectively, and just occasionally get a pill instead. So that seems kind of good. I just need to actually find something that's useful to duplicate. But if I can find something, if I can find a soul heart or something in the shop, then I could just turn that into infinite health effectively. So that does seem quite nice. Potentially. Provide... Oh, range up. Ooh, that's actually really tempting with Libra as well. it seems that this run might just become really, really stupid and take large quantities of time to complete. But we'll see about that, I suppose. Let's just put that over there. And then, yeah, this might take a minute, but I feel like it might end up being worthwhile. Just gonna use this one. It is a very small stat up, but it is a stat up, and range does take a while to, like, get to the maximum amount of, so it is tempting. Let's just try and duplicate as many of these pills as possible. Just every time I get a battery, I just immediately duplicate again. Alright, give me like a while, and I'll be back with you in a moment. Duplicate the range up. Use the range up. Get a pill. 48-hour energy. Duplicate the range up. Use the range up. And just keep doing that for a while. Alright, I'm reaching the end here. I have just about used up every pill that I could be bothered to make. There is still some batteries here and there that I haven't... Like underneath these rocks there is still some batteries, I think, from time to time, but... I think this seems reasonable, right? This is reasonable range for Azazel. Just gonna leave the rest of this here for now, but I think, how long did I spend on this? Like, I don't know, like 5 minutes? I think now we have something that I could more reasonably call a build. I would like to get a little bit more health. My speed has been maxed out, so that is lovely. And it does probably simplify life at least a little bit, so I can appreciate that much at least. I could have actually taken D4 because, quite frankly, well, on the one hand, it would remove all my damage effectively because most of my damage is because of range up, but it really wouldn't have hurt. But my damage right now is fairly high compared to what it would ordinarily be. Still taking like a little bit to kill enemies, so it's more of a reasonable build, I suppose, but my range is still just wonderful to look at. What we got? Oh my goodness, would you look at that. Guess we just got infinite health? It's me. I don't know why I bought the coupon, but I figured it was a good idea at the time. So what we're gonna do is effectively the same thing, I suppose. I'm just gonna drop this over here. Use the Z1. I use 48-hour energy. And just duplicate these a couple times. In case it wasn't immediately obvious what I was doing this entire time. Let's just show it off for good measure in real time so you can see roughly how long it takes for this nonsense to work. And quite frankly, it's reasonably quick. It's honestly not that bad. It only does one per time, but still, for stuff like this is fine. If you put the battery in the same room as well, you're gonna end up duplicating the battery, but that's still fine because you can just pick up the battery and try again until you don't get the battery anymore. But yeah, it's a pretty effective way to make health, honestly. And that was that amount of pills. I didn't even need to get that many. I could have made a lot less. I could also just keep using those range ups as well, just over and over. And it would just keep making my stats go up for a long time. But this is as much as I can be bothered with. And that is an important factor. My damage is a little bit low. It could definitely be a lot higher, but there's only so much I'm willing to put up with. We didn't get a double deal, unfortunately. I might get this just for fun. And we're just going to keep that 48 energy with me for a while longer because I would, just in case I need some more safety in this run, I have the option. Just in case I do feel like my stats aren't quite up to snuff, I can make them just a little bit better if I find any sort of stat up pill. So things are looking pretty good on my part. Where this run was previously in trouble because I hadn't realized its full potential. Now I feel like there is very little chance of this going wrong, fortunately. Shade! So that is at least fairly optimistic. It's a nice place to be in for sure. And I don't really even need anything, because I can basically always just duplicate another one of these pills. And the fact that it gives me both a battery and a recharge is enough for me to live my life effectively. So, all in all, just very nice things indeed. And I for one appreciate that this Azazel run, which I previously was worried was going to be an actually kind of difficult Azazel run, ended up being not so difficult at all. I could have probably done some good stuff there. One makes you larger. I'm a little bit curious about the other pill, because I would still like to do my my thingy shenaniganry. Let me just put you over here again. Just want to pick up this one, really. What do we got? Luck down. God. This is the perfect combination of items, though, if I had a gulp pill, which is really unfortunate, because I would love to unlock marbles. But if there is a gulp pill anywhere in this pill pool, I will find it. I will find it, and I will make full use of it as well. Pill baggy actually wouldn't have been too bad either. I'll take the 2 of diamonds. Ace of clubs, probably not. Ace of diamonds, fool, emperor. Emperor's tempting. It does make the rest of the run a little bit easier for sure. I could use... No, then I lose my D1. Never mind, we're taking this. Empty heart. I forget what that actually is. I don't recall if it's good or bad. It's probably something. Maybe related to empty heart containers or something like that. It might be something like that. And if you have empty red heart containers, it give you something. That's what I vaguely remember it being. Maybe. Something like that. Probably something along those lines. I'm gonna take it either way. And see if we end up dying because of it or not. But I still feel strangely confident that we're probably gonna be okay. Even if I'm running out of any consumable, I could just duplicate genuinely anything. I suppose if I find red chests, I should probably just make an infinite amount of those to see if I can get a full guppy transformation, but simultaneously, I think my damage is fine at this point, so I'm not really too interested in pushing this much further. I definitely could push this much further, given the time, but I just don't... I got better things to do, you know? I got better things to do than continuously recreate items over and over in the hope that I get specifically the thing I want. It's definitely an effective strategy for sure, but it's not one I'm willing to pursue at this particular moment. Very nice. What coins? Because I could just get infinite money, keys, bombs, anything really. With very little effort. It just takes a while, and I don't really want to spend the time. Also, if I didn't have the Stompy transformation yet, or the huge growth, I could also just use this combination of things to, well, just eat 5 of those pills. I could just make myself infinitely tall if I really wanted to right now. It's just that it doesn't help me. And I'd rather, right now, not spend too much effort on things. The insta charge of my beam is lovely, though. I do like that a lot. Not a devil deal, so I guess I'll go with negative for now. Let's go check the angel room for that. I'll take that, I suppose. It's not terrible. Take the eternal heart as well, since I'm missing a little bit of health anyway. Like, this is what happens when I tap the button for attacking. I cannot actually not attack, pretty much. Because my tier rate is 10. It's such a ridiculous number. Usually tier rate caps at 5. I have gotten it to 10 somehow because of this ridiculous combination of items. It is truly wonderful indeed. Very reasonable combination of events that I've accidentally created. I was positive about D1, but I didn't actually know about its true potential until today, and I'm quite happy that we found these things out together. The fact that I don't need to charge anymore is throwing me off because I'm so used to it. So used to having to charge that attack with this character because that's what you do. That's the character pretty much, and that specific part has been removed somehow, and it's wonderful. What do we got? A bunch of worms. What a fun secret room. I would really like to find that gold pill. I don't know if you need to actually eat 5 trinkets or not. Or if it's enough to just use 5 gulp pills. That's a guppy piece. It's not unlikely that we're going to... We could probably actually lower our stats as well with just taking enough pills if we really wanted to, but I don't fully feel the need to make my life miserable just for the sake of seeing what would happen. Also probably, yeah, could have just duplicated those chests infinitely and created a lot of fun there, because gold chests do have some interesting items in there for sure. I'm getting multiple items at the end of every room. Oh, it's a sack of pennies that's giving me money. I was wondering about that. Yeah, sure. Just a general stat up really. Didn't really give me that much, but it's a little bit of something, I suppose. The fact that I also just have huge range with this character right now is an interesting experience for sure. Justice, sure. Give me all that good stuff. Not sure where my super secret room is, but I'd like to find it because there is some very pill-filled super secret rooms out there, and it would be nice to just get those. Just to make 100% sure that there isn't by any means a gulp pill in that pill pool. Even though I feel like I've checked out a lot. I've checked out a lot of different pills for sure. I should actually, just in case. I guess it doesn't matter if I have this duplicated or not, but it's just nice to have a little bit of safety in these areas. In case I accidentally press the wrong button and lose the ability to duplicate everything forever. It would be just kind of a waste. But I'm not really sure where to look for this super secret room, unfortunately. Never really know with the womb. That's not terrible, I suppose. Might as well blow this up too in case there's a pill inside there. There is not. Then I guess I will just move on. Could look around for a little bit longer, but not really that interested. Who do we got? It's Rot Gut. That's fine. There we go. That's part 1 done. Let's see if we can survive part 2 and 3. Can he even damage us if we're over here? Probably, right? Well, not when that happens, I suppose, but... I don't really know that much about this boss, if I'm honest. I just haven't fought him that much, and I don't really know what could go right or wrong throughout this fight. Yeah, I'll take that. I might as well take this as well. Didn't know I already had an Eternal Heart, but sure. Believe that's the I don't know if that's still a stat up at this stage. I didn't really pay attention to Libra there, but Curse of the Blind. Ultimately fine if we just find a potential gulp pill. Eyes were inside me, that's why I took damage. I say it out loud because sometimes I just genuinely don't understand what's hitting me. And sometimes it's good to like figure it out loud, and that way it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense when I say it like that. Could have, I don't think I would have wanted to duplicate that a whole lot because it would have been a lot of effort really that I don't really want to spend. Mostly dealing with the curse room door out of all things. Devil card, not terrible. Once again, just doing this for good measure. My health is getting a little bit on the low side. We do have 9 lives, which is making me feel a little bit safe at least. In case I somehow decide to mess this up in some mysterious way. Definitely not impossible. If I just don't get any health on this floor, then I might still be in trouble. We're leaving you here for a moment. I did not expect there to find another unidentified pill, but whenever I do, I will treat it as the most important thing in the world. Because quite frankly, there is a lot of potential here and I don't want to ruin it. I do not want to ruin this potential to get that gulp pill. Because of any run that I've ever had so far, this one's the most likely to have just enough shenaniganry going on that I could get it to work. Hopefully it doesn't require 5 trinkets though, because I don't know if I can duplicate the thing. The whatchamacallit. Where did my... Oh, I just left it here. But yeah, I don't know if you can duplicate trinkets. I actually have no idea. I'm a little curious, I guess. Let me just try this first. Oh. Shot speed up. Yeah, that is what it is. I guess I don't mind. I don't know if it does anything for me at this stage, but I'll take it, I suppose. But let's just quickly check out if this works. It doesn't. Okay, so I cannot duplicate trinkets. That's actually good to know because I genuinely wasn't certain about that. So if we do need 5 trinkets, then I'm still effectively screwed, but it would still be nice to try our best regardless. We are very much running out of pill color combinations, I suppose, to make that dream a reality, but still, you never know with this game. Amnesia and Lockdown. For now, I'm just going to assume that we're probably not going to find it. I'm taking damage in just about every room with those enemies inside it. I do need to be a little bit more careful with those. I'm leaving the Eternal Heart there, just in case I do not find any health on this floor, because I can just turn that into a whole Red Heart build if need be. So at least I'll have some kind of backup if I end up dying in the Mother fight, or before that, really. Because doing Mother with 1 heart is just going to be miserable. Even with a like decent enough build, it's just not going to be a good time for sure. So I would like to just play it as safely as possible. Even though the truly safe way was definitely to just duplicate 100 more range up pills and just simply go bananas. But, you know, today was just not that day. It could still be that day, as you can see, but nah, I'm just not feeling it right now. Right now we're just having a good time, trying to reach the end. Maybe find one more super secret room over here. Nope. It could genuinely be all over the place, so more likely than not that is not going to be found. Red heart. There's a lot of red hearts on this floor for sure. Maybe you give me a cool card. Sun card. Actually, with a full red heart build, that's a lot of extra health right there, so I'm just gonna leave that alone for now. That is bad gas. And I'm willing to give the boss a shot, I suppose, if there's nothing else to do here. Another health up randomly and a range up, I believe. So that's nice. No super secret room. I would like to try and find it, kinda. But the amount of places it could be is kinda high. It's not looking ideal for sure, but alright. And it's you. Perhaps you have something interesting in your pockets you're willing to give me for exactly 6 coins. 1 key, I guess that's not the worst thing at times. 2 keys, I have a golden key right here, but you know, I still appreciate the effort. A bomb, I'm not really sure what I particularly want from this creature, but perhaps he's got something up his sleeves that would be good. Dinner? Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Thank you very much, game. We are good to go. Now that we have exactly 1 more red heart container. If all else fails, then I'll just create a red heart build and just play it safe with the sun card as well there. But I'm just gonna give this a shot because I'm hoping that I don't need it. I'm hoping that the damage we do right now is fine. If need be, I could also still just make my build stupid with that range up build that's still on this floor. I have a lot of options available. This is a bit awkward though. I don't love this attack. There we go. That's part 1 done right there. And do need to remember that I don't need to charge because I was attacking rather slowly with the idea that I needed to. It is such a strange feeling to not have to charge your brimstone attack, I swear to God. Usually when you don't have to charge a brimstone attack, it also just fires immediately as well, because that's just how like stuff like brim soy milk and stuff like that works. But because we made it in such a weird way, the game is just like, yeah, you're done charging now, you may let go whenever. And it's just very odd. But I kind of appreciate occasionally seeing new things as Azazel, I suppose. It's rare that you really see anything interesting going on with Azazel. And even this is like almost questionably interesting, but it's still at least something new that I haven't quite experienced before. And you know what? I'm just gonna have to say that's good enough at times. This is a very fun fight so far. If we just keep doing that, there we go. And that was that. 49 minutes. Not the slowest even, really. But then Azazel is usually pretty quick, but that Libra did take the wind out of my sails for a bit. Devil's Crown is not terrible either. It's an interesting trinket. that turns item rooms into kind of semi-devil deal rooms instead. And that is one thing remaining for Azazel. And definitely the most useful use of Libra that I've probably had in Repentance, because quite frankly it rarely works. But fortunately this time the stars aligned and gave me exactly what I needed. Either way, hope y'all enjoyed it. Next time we play, we'll be playing another one as a different character. And I hope to see y'all there. Bye bye.